Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now,
you are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. I've been crafting this show quite carefully for the last, about 10 hours or so. I've been in the studio since about, the 5 hours ago, and then a bunch of hours last night and all. Because I have no life. This is my life, and I love my life. It's glorious. And we are going to have so much fun today. I want to start off with something that was sent to me this morning. I think it's kind of funny. I like to say the conservative comedy is on the ascension because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. And that is absolutely true if you think about it just a little. If you think about it just a little, you can't take people who think they can change your gender and that men could be able to put some lipstick on and go into the women's locker room and get undressed. You can't take those people seriously, so you got to make fun of them.
Anything that Donald Trump does, good or bad, good, whatever, it's, Democrats feel they have to do the opposite.
Yeah.
My favorite now is Democratic women being told, pregnant women, to not take Tylenol, do anything, but don't take Tylenol. And to spite him, pregnant Democratic women are taking Tylenol.
Yeah. Rob
I'm trying to reach out to the White House to just see if I can get President Trump to make another announcement. Whatever you do, don't men over 50 who are traveling in the greater Philadelphia area this weekend, specifically over the bridge in Collinswood with their band. Whatever you do, don't.
They're kind of like toddlers. Toddlers, you tell them the opposite thing, they will just do despite you. So I think we should say to the Democrats, do not open the government. Whatever you do, do not pay federal employees. No. Donald Trump, the king. Donald Trump, the king, says that you definitely don't want to open that government. So whatever you do, don't open the government. And here's Hakeem Jeffries talking about the filibuster. You're talking about the filibuster. And I think Donald Trump ought to pull the trigger on the filibuster because, you see, we're dealing with the party of people who tried to put Donald Trump in prison, tried to take away his fortune, tried to take him off the ballot, and then tried to murder him a couple times. And then went after him for 2 impeachments, one after he left office, raided Mar-a-Lago. So I say, bleep him. Bleep him, okay? But here's Hakeem Jeffries talking about the filibuster.
Congressman, you tweeted yesterday.
That's Al Sharpton. He has a TV show, and the only reason being is because MSNBC is afraid to fire him.
That the filibuster is a racially tinged artifact of the Jim Crow era.
What?
We cannot let it stand in the way of progress.
Wow.
High priority issues for the American people that are being held up in the Senate right now because of the presence of the filibuster. And so a minority of senators are allowed to block progress for the majority of the American.
That's true. The seven Democrat senators are doing that. You're exactly right there, Hakeem.
People, and that's something that has to change. Filibuster was first deployed by Senator Calhoun in the run-up to the Civil War to try to protect white supremacy as well as the institution of
we better get rid of it then.
Slavery. And then in terms of its modern form, it was really deployed in the early part of the 20th century to stop civil rights legislation, including anti-lynching legislation that passed the House of Representatives in the early part of the 20th century, but could never break through a Senate filibuster. And that is part of the legacy of the absence of progress that we're still living with to this day.
Well, that is amazing. That is Hakeem Jeffries saying that you got to get rid of the filibuster. That's pretty amazing. And here's Barack Obama saying the same thing.
By ending some of the partisan gerrymandering,
so that all voters have the power to choose their
You mean like Proposition 50 in California?
politicians, not the other way around.
Is he channeling Bill Cosby?
And if all this takes eliminating the filibuster, another Jim Crow relic,
Wow.
in order to secure the God-given rights of every American, then that's what we should do.
There you go. I mean, we got to get rid of it, right? That is Jim Crow, man. That's like Jim Crow 2.0, you know, all that election stuff they did in Georgia where they tried to, you know, make sure you had an ID and all of that. That's kind of like Jim Crow, man. You better get rid of that filibuster. Oh, wait, no, that was 2021 is when they said those things. You see, the Democrat Party only has double standards. It's the only standards they have. Here's Donald Trump talking about the filibuster, and I think since it's so racist to Jim Crow, I think we need to get rid of it.
Remember, Republicans, regardless of the Schumer shutdown, the Democrats will terminate the filibuster the first chance they get.
They will.
They will pack the Supreme Court of the United States, pick up 2 states, that's a lot of states, and add at least 8 electoral votes. Their 2 objectors are gone. Remember, Sinema and Manchin. They're gone.
That's true.
Don't be weak. Don't be stupid, Republicans.
Come on.
Fight, fight, fight. Win, win.
Don't be meow meows.
Win. We will immediately end the extortionist shutdown, get all of our agenda passed, and make life so good for Americans that these deranged Democrat politicians will never again have the chance to destroy America. They tried to destroy your country.
They did, yeah.
Republicans, you will rue the day that you didn't terminate the filibuster. Be tough, be smart, and win.
There you go. That's a good idea. I'm down with it completely because you cannot deal with these Democrats because they just bedded down with the communist left. They just bedded down with a guy who is an anti-Semite, pro-jihadi, Islamist communist. Okay? And now you've got Democrats across the country going, oh, I think that's a pretty good idea. I think he sounds pretty cool. You know, I know this Hitler guy. He's a young guy. He's got a weird mustache. But gosh darn, what he's saying is pretty awesome. He should be the chancellor someday.
And I wish I could say that I am surprised by what we're witnessing, but this is exactly what happens when the Democratic Party surrenders to its most radical fringe.
Yeah.
Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries lack the political courage to stand up to the Marxist, anti-Semitic, anti-law enforcement base led by Mamdani now, AOC, and Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
Schumer and Jeffries are both weak leaders from New York, and specifically New York City, where they have never had to face serious political opposition and have enjoyed nothing but glowing praise from their friends in the media. They are ill-suited to lead the Democratic Party at the national level, which is on dramatic display with each passing day of this tragic shutdown.
1,000%. Here is Caroline Levitt. No, actually, let's wait on that. Let's go to John Thune.
We've tried to do that 13 times. You voted no 13 times. 13 times. People over here voted to fund SNAP. 13 times they voted to fund WIC. This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I can't imagine how tough it is right now to go to work when you're not being paid. Particularly you guys who are doing, air traffic control, one of the most stressful jobs you could possibly imagine, and having to deal with this bull crap. Absolutely. Absolute bullcrap. The Senate is to vote on a full-year funding for military construction, VA, and SNAP in the latest bid to end the record shutdown. But you see, the Democrat Party, they think they have a little momentum. They think that because they won on Tuesday night in blue states, not a big surprise, bad candidates for governor in Virginia and 2 terrible opposition candidates in New York City, and questionable receipts on the election in New Jersey. 500,000 people suddenly showed up to vote, more people than ever to vote for a mediocre Democrat candidate when all of the momentum was in favor of the Republican. It's weird. It's weird. And you know what? I can say that I question the election because I got this First Amendment thing and I can have an opinion on it. So how about you just stick it if you got a problem with that? But there you go. That's what's really happening. But they think they got some sort of momentum. They've decided they wanted to wait to keep the shutdown through the election. Now that they think they won, they don't even give a rat's behind if you starve, if you lose your job, if planes crash. They don't give a damn. You know why? Because they just elected an Islamist, terrorist, Marxist, communist in New York City. They will do anything to win. They will do anything to win. They would put Osama bin Laden. If they thought Osama bin Laden could win in New York, they'd say, okay, well, he's really not that bad. I'm not screwing around. This is your Democrat Party. This is how awful they are.
Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Frankly, this is our only moment of leverage. And although a very unpleasant tool to use, it's gotten us focused on what we have to do to change direction on health.
Make people suffer.
Healthcare.
Shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. But it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Leverage.
It reminds me of the words famously uttered in the first Shrek movie by Lord Farquaad. Yes, I know some of you may die as a result of what I'm about to do, but that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Here the Democrats are willing to put the American people...
Democrat Party, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jim Gossett as the Prezi.
Schumer running round, talking out loud of his dirty tactics. How can he be proud to close up the federal government? For the GOP, Schumer is heaven sent. Chuck ought to know that this time around he will get the blame for a government shutdown. Will be taking the fall. Democrats want, but they won't get a bunch of new spending to run up the debt. Hakeem Jeffries, a guy we cannot trust. Negotiations, he is why they've been a bust. Dems can't wait to leave this town. But sad, sad truth, they want to shut down.
Yeah, they do. Oh, we got
makes them think they can win.
Tony Kinnett's going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour. Mary Walter next hour. And, of course, Christian Toto Friday. A lot of stuff coming up. The number here is 800-922-6680. This is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
New Yorkers made a big mistake. Private property's a rent wants to take. He's a fraud, a total Marxist. He's a man without a soul. Of all possessions, the things that you own, he wants control. Total control. Commie, chameleon. He'll take your business right away from you. That's why millions plan to leave New York. They fear the evil that Mamdani can do. Commie, chameleon. Anti-Semite, oh how he loves Hamas. Commie, chameleon. Mamdani's gains, they will be the residents' loss.
She isn't running, and we're so grateful. That woman was oh so hateful. She's a national disgrace. That's Nancy with a Botox face. Her star was rapidly fading. She's as corrupt as can be. She made millions from insider trading. say. Nancy Pelosi was a lousy speaker. She tried to make our country weaker. I'm glad they will replace Miss Nancy with a Botox face.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to Newsmax.com/listen for details.
You know that big jewelry heist at the Louvre Museum in France? You know, that's, they stole like, what, $20 million worth of stuff? I don't even know, but a French forensics officer examined the window of the Louvre Museum, which was at the scene of the robbery at the world-famous museum on October 19th in Paris. France's culture minister, Rachida Dati, announced the closure of the world-famous art museum on X due to the robbery taking place, and then they reopened. But apparently the museum's video surveillance server password, and this may be a clue as to how the thieves were able to put a cherry picker next to the building, raise the cherry picker up to the window, break the window out. Like, you know, you're sitting there at the Louvre and you see a guy with a cherry picker and you're like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm here to clean out the gutters. Oh, all right, go right ahead. I mean, oh, oui, merci beaucoup. Go over there. I actually do speak French. But that, you know, so that, and then the museum server password is Louvre, Louvre. It's the name of the museum. While a software program provided by the company was secured with the password Thales, and by the way, the company is the Thales Company, Thales. I do it real quick here to you guys in charge of the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian Museums here, you know, with the Hope Diamond in the Natural History Museum. Change the password from Smithsonian. That, or if you're like National Treasure, if it's Valley Forge, you might want to change it because, you know, somebody might grab a champagne glass and lift your prints off of it. Anyway, that's a it's a national treasure reference. I still am going over to the Library of Congress. I'm going to look for that presidential book with the UFOs and Bigfoot and all that, and I'm going to do it sooner or later. Sooner or later. I didn't realize how bad this shutdown was going to be until I heard it last night from a woman named Ashley Allison on CNN. On CNN, here it is.
Massive impact. I went and got my eyebrows done the other day, and my eyebrow technician was like, they're going to fire 2 technicians from here because all of our clients don't have money to come. She's not on Snap.
That's it. Did you hear that? Her eyebrow technician, a couple of her eyebrow how the hell, why would you need an eyebrow technician? I mean, do you have to have a degree? It's like working for NASA. It's like, you know, we're starting off with just hair cutting and maybe some tweezing, but my goal is to eventually be an eyebrow technician. An eyebrow technician.
This is having massive impact.
I thought you were just a little Korean lady with an American name.
Got my eyebrows done the other day, and my eyebrow technician was like, they're going to fire 2 technicians from here because all...
Oh, sure. Your name is Deborah. Okay, sure.
All of our clients don't have money to come. She's not on Snap.
That is just unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, I wonder if eyebrow technicians have their own food bank called OSNAP. Yeah, I just said that. Here's Jim Comer talking about the shutdown, which it looks like it's going to continue through the weekend.
Well, if every Republican voted for the bill, which every Republican did but Rand Paul, it takes 7 Democrats. So with
Rand Paul and Tucker Carlson need an island on their own with Candace Owens.
It takes 8 Democrats. The Democrats know this, but they prey on the uneducated voter out
the only way they prey
there that doesn't realize that
EREY.
Just because the Republicans have the majority in the Senate, that doesn't mean they can pass any legislation. The Senate was created to be bipartisan.
When you get a Brazilian wax, does that require a technician?
For better or worse. And what we have is a situation.
I would think that's a little more technical.
Where the Democrats will not cross over other than Fetterman and the 2 from Georgia that are in the toughest races for re-election in the future. The other Democrats are continuing to stick together to force the government to remain shut down because they think they're scoring political points on it. Yeah. They don't care about the people that need SNAP benefits. They don't care about the federal employees that aren't getting paid. They don't care if all the airplanes in America are grounded because the ground crews and air traffic control refuse to show up because they're not getting paid. They don't care. They just want to hurt Donald Trump and try to score political.
You know what? Maybe, because somebody just wrote on the Rumble, the live stream, stop paying Congress. How about we surround the building and keep them from leaving and cut off all their food and water and their utilities? I think that might be a good idea. What do you think about that? How about cut off all their utilities, all their food and everything? Can't even get Uber Eats for the people in Congress until they get something done here, because that's what they're doing to us, essentially.
They're going to try to vote through the weekend to try to get something through the Senate. And then we would return back to Washington and see what they voted out. But you're exactly right, and I think that's been lost in translation. This was just to continue funding levels through November 21st, to be able to negotiate all the things that they claim they want to negotiate. This is what's been done throughout history to avert government shutdowns. When you have conservatives who want to spend less money and you have liberals who want to spend more money.
It's called extortion.
Compromise is a continuing resolution. You spend the same levels. So this is unnecessary. Everything the Democrats have done is unnecessary. I hope every family struggling to put food on their table realizes that. I hope every federal employee who's struggling to make ends meet, and everyone who's...
I say we barricade them in. No food, no water, no nothing, no Wi-Fi, nothing. How about that? Cybercrime spikes during the holidays, especially around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Falling victim to cybercrime is the last thing anyone needs, especially during the holidays. I know this. I had to upload everything in my home computer because my homepage for Google got infected. I had to replace every damn thing. It's ridiculous. Protect your family and yourself from all of this with WebRoot Total Protection. 60% off right now if you go to webroot.com/Carson, webroot.com/Carson. Phishing scams, you can stop them. Fake shipping notifications, you can stop them. Fake e-commerce sites and social media stores, they're always trying to phish to get your credit card number, to get anything they can. Protection includes toddlers, students, seniors, up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds. And also, WebRoot is trusted for 25 years with a 90% retention rate and 24/7 U.S.-based customer support. WebRoot Total Protection, that's what it is. I got it right here on this computer I'm looking at right now, and this one right over here that I'm looking at right now. webroot.com/Carson, webroot.com/Carson. Save 60%. One device, $20 for a year. What? I know, it's crazy. All right, Tony Kinnett joining us from the Daily Signal, one of our favorite guests on the other side of this here break on a Friday. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
Running round, talking out loud of his dirty tactics. How can he be proud to close up the federal government? For the GOP, Schumer is heaven sent. Chuck ought to know that this time around he will get the blame for a government shutdown. Will be taking the fall. Democrats want, but they won't get a bunch of new spending to run up the debt. Hakeem Jeffries, a guy we cannot trust. Negotiations, he is why they've been a bust. Dems can't wait to leave this town. A sad, sad truth, they want to shut down. Makes them think they can win. It sucks to be you. You Democrats, you. Inflation is down. Schumer's a clown. He'll get his due. No Kings was a flop, but you will not stop. I'll bring the world peace. More wars I will cease. We'll come out on top. Drug boats we took out. We ended all doubt. The border is closed. Letitia is hosed while Democrats pout. The new ballroom will be complete while Democrats will suffer defeat. It sucks to be you, miserable you. It sucks to be you.
Now a new NBC News poll shows the Democratic Party has reached an all-time low in popularity.
Why and all you want about the National Guard? Antifa pals, we will bombard. It sucks to be you. You know that it's true. It sucks to be you.
What I am saying to you is it's the Republican shutdown, my friend. You are in control of the White House. You are in control of the House, and you are in control of the Senate. And if you went home to a food bank instead of going to Mar-a-Lago to eat at a gold-plated dinner while people are starving, you might see and hear your constituents, sir. You are blind to the suffering of your people.
Does it take 60 votes?
It takes you listening and coming to the table to have a discussion.
It does take 60 votes.
You want to have this? Come talk to me in private, sir.
Okay. So it does take 60 votes, for the record, just so that we're clear on the reporting, so there's no misinformation.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for 2024, common sense versus Karen. That's what it was. Common sense versus Karen. Unfortunately, Karen was able to eke one by in Virginia and New Jersey. But, we'll see. Hey, joining us on the Newsmax Hotline, one of our favorite guests. In fact, I would venture to say, don't tell Mary, but I think you're my favorite guest. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal. What's going on, my friend?
It is a fantastic day not to live in New York City. How are you doing, my friend?
Oh, my Lord in heaven. The thing about Zohran Mamdani, New York is like your daughter when she dates a bad boy, abusive guy. There's nothing you can do about it but pick up the pieces after it falls apart. And at this point, I really don't care. This daughter, I think I want to estrange. I'm kind of done with it.
Again, the New York economic empire is in the process of just utter collapse because there are other cities who are more than happy to host the different trading and economic facets that made up the Big Apple. If New York thinks that people are going to stay with the massive tax hikes that Mamdani wants to bring in, that ain't happening, Captain.
Yeah, why don't you move Wall Street to Miami? The weather's better down there. Honestly, the real
Dallas,
estate's
the infrastructure is already halfway there.
Dallas almost halfway there. Dallas has been in constant trying to catch up with its growth for decades. Trust me, I went to Dallas a few years ago. I'm like, man, when are they going to get these roads to catch up with the growth that's happening down here? But no, I got to tell you, I got two words for New York: yon yon. Okay, that's something I learned when I lived in North Kentucky. Yon yon. New York, yon yon. Don't even care. Did you hear about this? There was a congressman who wants to basically say no more federal aid to New York City, and I would have to say I agree.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And while we're at it, just to point out, I would like it to be on every billboard from here to the other coast, that the CARE organization, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the association with the Muslim Brotherhood, they funded 3/4 of this dude's campaign. And he has the gall to get out in front of the country now and go, hey, guys, remember how I said don't send me more money? Yes. Well, give me money.
And just like another bad boyfriend has his hand out. Yeah, we want to go out for pizza, but I don't have any money for it. This was less about turning a New York City communist. It was more about getting a radical Islamist elected. That's all there is to it. And I heard Glenn Beck talking about this red-green alliance, which happened in Iran when the Ayatollah came in. The left allied with the radical Islamists, and the radical Islamists slaughtered everybody. That's how Zohran Mamdani was able to glad hand with terrorist sympathizers, and they still love him even though he's so pro-LGBTQIA+, because he used the idiots of the left to get him in power.
This is something that even some of our, let's maybe say former friends at American Conservative Magazine don't seem to understand. They had a big feature piece called Zohran Mamdani is not a third worldist. Quit calling him that. And their argument is that because he's just woke. Like, you can't be both. Like, you do realize that those who want to see America torn down are not really bothered by the manner in which it's torn down. You don't have to glaze a guy just because he's anti-Israel.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people thought that Castro was very, charismatic and young.
Beautiful
and all of these
point.
things.
Beautiful point.
It's the same damn thing. Dude, it's the same damn thing. Probably, there are a lot of people who said, this Hitler guy, he's got a funny mustache, but man, I'm loving what he's saying. He's saying he's going to get more money into the working man's pocket, and he is going to give you this free and that free and all of that. Of course, we're going to take all your guns, and then we're going to give you free health care. Hitler did all those things. I'm not screwing around here.
These are trains in Italy never run so on a time under Del Duce.
That's exactly right, man. They're the useful idiots that Lenin talked about. Lenin called them the useful idiots. They help get them in power, and then you slaughter them. And you think I'm not being pejorative here. This is what they want to do. Did you see the Muslim call to prayer in friggin' Times Square? I got to tell you, that bleep's going to have to end. And if we have to do it from the federal level by cutting off New York altogether and eventually sending in the National Guard, hell yeah, because a communist cannot run that country. And it cannot run it with anti-Israel, defund Israel, pro-Hamas. It can't happen. And so I'm glad Donald Trump is in office for another 3 years. Go ahead.
I just can't get over how hilarious it is to me that Mr. Superculture got up in front of the city and said, and the Trinidadian waiters and the Uzbeki aunties, and said essentially everyone that he could except for Americans.
Yeah.
And now he comes before the city and he says, all right, guys, I'm out of money. I need money for my transition team. And it's like, don't look at me. You didn't want any of me.
Yeah,
Why don't you go ask the Uzbeki auntie for some assistance
you
there?
know, the amazing thing, the Uzbeki auntie and the Albanian, whatever the hell, and all of those people, they used to just be called Americans. And they were proud to be called Americans. And they still are driving taxis from Nigeria. And they still are driving, owning a shop from India. And they're Americans, okay? He only divided people. Screw that Uzbeki crap. You put Uzbeki second. You are America first. But that is Zoran Mandami. He doesn't give a flying rip about the American people, the Constitution. For God's sake, he quoted communists and Islamists in his speech, not Jefferson or Washington. So, he's a major danger. And what do you think? Let me ask you this, Tony. Let me ask you this. What do you think about? Because I was talking to somebody this morning. I was on WGMD talking, and they're like, "Oh, we got to be aware of this in the midterms because these young Marxists, they're going to march forward and they can take the midterms." I don't think the Marxists have the numbers. I think it's a major mistake for the Democrat Party to go in that direction because they already failed going left with Kamala Harris. Going further left is going to make it even worse. What do you think?
Two beautiful things came out of the election on Tuesday, and I know that we talked about it because you were watching our coverage at the time.
Mm-hmm.
At number one, the Republicans needed the loss. I know this sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I know that maybe that's not the right thing to say. They needed the loss because you are not invincible.
Nope.
You can't just do whatever you want and call it solid gold and give it to voters. No, Winsome Earl Sears ran a sucky campaign.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'll say it.
Dude.
Number two, the Democrats are now overconfident. They said, we can run the menopausal Karens and the young socialist Islamists,
yes,
and that will totally appeal to Pennsylvania, Georgia people. No, it ain't going to happen, Captain.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Please run with that.
Yeah, Winsome Earl Sears has the I don't know, she's the charisma of an armadillo. That's what I said. I mean, honest, what a lousy candidate. And I knew this about Glenn Youngkin. Glenn Youngkin officially crowned her the candidate. And I never liked Youngkin. Everybody was talking about Youngkin being a Republican in name only as a presidential candidate. Steve Bannon says his political career is over. I hope it is, actually. Tony Kinnett, can you hold on? I got some more on the other side I want to talk to you about, okay?
You got it.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Zoran Mamdani, is he the future of the party? And how do Democrats combat Republicans demonizing him? I mean, a lot of people believe he is going to be on ads across the country and as a kind of a target for Republicans.
Yeah, I think the future of the party is Zoran and Abigail and Mikey.
Wow,
right? The future of the party is that we're a Big Ten party.
Yeah, and this is exactly aligning with the Democrat voter, which is Karen, the white liberal cul-de-sac dwelling Karen, and her emasculated man in her life. That's who drove Kamala Harris into the toilet. I wish them the best with it. I really do. Lurching left and having a bunch of starry-eyed revolutionaries will not end well in a country where, I don't know, about 500 million guns exist. Not going to happen. Tony Kinnett, who is from the Daily Signal and also WIBC Radio in lovely Indianapolis, Indiana, joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. I think this movement will really damage the Democrat Party, but I'm glad. I thought they were committing suicide by just not learning from the 2024 election and turning left. Now they've gone full on 90-degree turn into communism. What do you think?
Well, and it's not just the communism turn into thing, because we knew that was coming. But it's that their secondary line here. You've got the A team and the B team.
Yes.
And the old A team for the Democrats was sure their multi-ethnic super culture, but their B team was that strong establishment old white dude kind of energy.
Yeah.
That's gone. Now they've replaced that with the menopausal Karens who are bitter and they have no community and they're insufferable.
Yes.
And they think that if they just get enough of those like angry women out there, then that's going to solve everything. And the problem is, they are the most susceptible demographic in the country to essentially media manipulation.
Social contagion. Social contagion.
Terrible media strategy.
They're the ones who fell for. They're the ones who fell for the transgender bullcrap. They fall for everything. They want to be busybodies. They got rid of after George Floyd died of a drug overdose. They got rid of Aunt Jemima. They got rid of Native American mascots because she's Karen.
But that's the thing. Now that same crew is very upset about Sydney Sweeney not apologizing. They don't recognize the rest of the country doesn't agree with them. That's why you see these angry, bitter old women standing up and going, "You need to leave." And then everyone looks at her like she's annoying and ridiculous because she is.
Yeah, she needs to go back being the
The rest of the country hates her.
She needs to go back to the HOA and complain about mildew on siding. Trust me, Gladys Kravitz on Bewitched was the original Karen, and they've taken it to a new level. Filibuster, what do you think?
I got to tell you, I'm still kind of on the fence on it. I think David Marcus has a really good column over on removing the filibuster.
Yeah.
I still get very nervous about tearing things down. That speech from McConnell in 2013 still haunts me.
Yeah.
Be careful what you tear down, because you may regret it sooner than you think.
But what gets done? What gets done with securing our election? What gets done with anything right now? This Democrat Party will do anything. They will do anything to cheat and steal the midterms, and then we're hosed. So I'm leaning into. Dude, they have declared war on us, okay? And it's been going on for a decade. We've got 2 impeachments. We've got 91 political charges, 4 indictments, trying to take him off the ballot and murdering him, and a raid on Mar-a-Lago. Screw it. I say screw it.
I hear you, and I agree with that sentiment, but there's one problem.
What?
This takes responsibility off the shoulders of Congress, because now they don't have to work as hard. You just get a simple majority, and then presto, it's done. No. Congress is lazy. They suck. And I'm sorry, the idea that I need to take responsibility away from them, oh, poor them, like we did with bureaucracies, because, well, then it's just whatever administration's in power. They'll make rules. We don't need laws. No. I think that what we need is people to hold congressional toes to the fire, but that's more work. It is more work. But if I want the republic to last another 200 years instead of another 25, that's what's got to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. What else is going on? We've got, Trump announcing low-priced Ozempic. Did you hear that Robert Kennedy Jr. yesterday said that America is going to lose $125 million pounds by next year, and that's just the viewcast.
I think that there's a lot of people in this country who are exhausted of the praise of obesity.
Yes.
And sorry, you mentioned the view, and I mean that's really a real point that, like, the glorification of just obesity is not popular, and not only because of drugs like Ozempic that this is going to be going down, but also because people are going to exercise more now than they have in the last 15 years.
I hope so.
Thank God. Good. That's good for your mental health as much as it is your physical.
Did you notice? I went to Target the other day. I don't know why I went into Target, but there was a Target there.
Why would you do that?
I know. But you go in there and you walk by the ladies' frilly department, and they've got women. I almost said oversized. That would have been offensive. They got plus-size models wearing underwear and swimsuits, but there are no plus-size guys. Do you ever notice that? I'm walking around, I'm seeing the guys, the jockey underwear thing. This guy's got a washboard stomach. I got a washing machine stomach. I mean, honestly, why are there no plus-size guys?
Well, I think they are. They're just over in, like, the tent section because you can double those as awnings for the picnic.
So we got that. Big news on the lowest, 6th straight month of zero releases by the U.S. Border Patrol. See, here's the thing. Donald Trump had all of this stuff going for him. This is great. And last week, the Democrats were the lowest popularity they've ever had. Harry Hinton said that the concern about the economy was halved versus Joe Biden. Then this thing happened on Tuesday. Don't forget, we still have that. Okay, nothing has changed about that. We just had a speed bump in the middle in states that should have won. Your final thoughts on this?
I don't even think that this stuff is connected to the election itself, which is actually a good sign for Republicans.
Yeah.
New Jersey voters just didn't care. And we see that all the way back in the 2024 polling, by the way. So going into the next year, there are some things that are absolute wins, but this is the time to push, to keep going, not to just rest on laurels, which, by the way, you should still praise, of course.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of good things happening. A lot of manufacturing is coming here. A lot of jobs being created, and it's going to go on light speed. And then in May, when the Fed Reserve Chair is gone and interest rates are dropped and the housing market goes through the ceiling, and combine that with the 250th anniversary of the country and Donald Trump doing a rockin' party, including MMA fighters, I'm thinking we're going to be in good shape next year.
I think so, too. And again, either way the SCOTUS rules on the tariffs, Trump comes away a winner.
All right, brother. Hey, great to have you on, my friend. Where can everybody – and by the way, you did a great job the other night with the election coverage. I really enjoyed watching you. Did a really nice job streaming on the Twitter. Where can people find your work, Tony?
Any social media, you search Tony Kinnett, TonyKinnett. You'll find me.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. You know the crazy thing about that guy? 5 years ago, he wasn't a broadcaster. He was a teacher. He was like an English teacher, middle school English teacher. Unbelievable. He's an unbelievable guy. And isn't he fun to listen to? He is so plugged in. He's more of a detail guy than I am. I cover a lot of things, and he is a detail guy. But I have the attention span of a fruit fly, so there's that. Hey, who's watching? I'm trying to load up the Facebook here. Sometimes Facebook's a little slow. So I'll go over to YouTube, where Deplorable Dinosaur and Mickey Hastings are there. Patterson Connie is new today. Hello. Oh, you live in Virginia. The SNAP people got their SNAP here in Virginia. Lines are long, baskets are full. Yeah, okay. America Marcy, hello. Good to see you guys. To all of you saying hello to me, I say hello in return times 10. There you go. What else? Somebody said doctors need report 200 pounds, 10 years old on SNAP. Well, yeah, I know. I've seen that too. Obamaroid ointment, you've been here a lot lately. That's awesome. Over on the Rumbly Roo. G.J. Gary. Hello, good to see you there. Ardesanti. Mo MI67, you're new. You're new. Over on the Twitter feed, lots of people watching over there. We usually have great numbers on the Twitter feed, but you guys, I mean, we're getting well into the millions of impressions every week, so I know you're enjoying the show. I enjoy doing it. All right, here we go.
Guru, Saturday mornings at 7 on Talk Radio 680 WCVM. Hear the news, then talk about it at the top and bottom of every hour throughout the day. Breaking news, stimulating talk, only on Talk Radio 680 WCVM and 99.9 FM in Harford County.
Boom.
Yeah, but about 3:45.
Dig it.
The old guard has been repudiated, and the radicals are taking over the Democratic Party. We have evidence now every day. Yesterday, Jared Golden announced he would not be running for re-election in the state of Maine. He's a moderate, and he has no place in his party anymore. And then this morning, you saw the headline. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi has now announced her retirement this morning. That is a very important sign that I hope that you all will delve into. Even the famous San Francisco liberal is not far left enough for the neo-Marxists.
Yeah.
We commend her for her services. We all do, everyone who serves in Congress, but there should be a lot written about that.
There's a reason why for 40 years Bernie Sanders has not been able to make anything happen as far as his socialist movement. But now he sees a young Turk in New York City. Zoran Mandami is not as big as you think he is. He talks a good game, but he's a little man, a little boy who has no life experience, and he just managed to engineer a victory in New York City with a lot of uninformed people and millions, $40 million of George Soros and others, radicals' money to get him into office. And so is this going to spread? Yeah, it's going to spread. It's already spread. Dear God in heaven, did you see the No Kings protests? Come on, give me a frickin' break, man. Did you see the summer of 2020? It's already spread. They're already there. Those people are already there. This is nothing new. This is not going to galvanize anybody. They're already there. They're doing the idiotic crap on the weekends. But Karen's involved in it. Karen is involved with her emasculated husband. Isn't that a surprise? And it's not going to end well for the Democrat Party. They didn't learn anything after the 2024 election, and they're lurching left. Okay, good. Now we have a target. Now we have a real target. And as I always like to say, when the left exposes its flank, what do? We kick its ass.
Yeah, he's a very good rhetorician, but now the rubber hits the road because he'll be mayor. And we'll see. He says that billionaires should not exist. Does that mean the Wall Street people who run the financial capital of the world should leave? He says he's going to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. He's going to have a lot of foreign leaders come into the United Nations. Is he going to say, you can't come and I'm going to arrest you? He says he's not going to cooperate. He didn't say he's not going to cooperate with the federal government and ICE. He said he's going to oppose them. So is he going to get NYPD with guns drawn to meet ICE officers and replay?
No, because half the NYPD is going to resign.
Fort Sumter? I don't think so. I think what's happened is Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi thought it was cute to go left, and they begot Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, who begot the squad, who finally, the logical culmination, they begot this Mondami, and he's sort of like, they're like Dr. Frankenstein, and he's the monster, and now they're going to be terrified of him.
Yeah, that's why you heard Chris Murphy saying, oh, yeah, the future of the party is Zoran Mondami, but it's also, Mikey Sherrill. Really? Is it? Can they exist? Can Karen exist with the bad boy boyfriend Marxist in New York City? We will see. They're divided. They're more divided than Republicans, rhinos, and Trump, but Trump won, you see. And it looks like the Marxists are going to win, and the Democrat Party is going to disappear into the dustbin of history and become the American Communist Party. In other words, the Democrat Socialist. Yeah! Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show right ahead. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
Breaking news at Town Hall on Bob.
The most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to it. Mary Walter is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Today I just said, screw it. You know what I did? Today, for the very first time in about 4 months, I ate some potato chips. Yeah, I got some potato chips. I got some of those really coarse, peanut oil potato chips. I got the salt and vinegar, and then I got the barbecue, and I said, screw it, I'm eating some carbs today. I'm doing some carbs, and I might even have a Diet Coke. Those are two things I haven't done in 4 months. Diet Coke and potato chips. I'm not going to do the Diet Coke. I'm really kind of over the Diet Coke thing. But I said, you know what, I'm going to eat some carby loose. Going to eat some carbs. I'm not going to do the Ozempic thing. A lot of people are doing the Ozempic, and now it's a lot cheaper because of the President of the United States. And, some people need it. I'm kind of bothered by the fact that they took one of the songs of my childhood and made it into their jingle. Oh, Ozempic. Although it wasn't a very good song to begin with. But here is the Prezi talking about how cheap it is to lose some weight now.
Just as significantly, Medicare and Medicaid will finally cover the cost of these weight loss drugs for millions of patients suffering from obesity.
Sure.
Co-pays for Medicare patients will be as low as $50.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
This is tremendous savings. I mean, now you're talking about from $1,350 to $50.
Please.
This is tremendous news for the
That's fantastic because the IVF is less now, and then this, so you can lose weight and have a baby for like $100. Oh, my God, it's fantastic. Here's RFK Jr.
We'll be able to get this drug, and it's going to change. We will lose the American public because of this agreement. Yeah. We'll lose 125 million pounds by this time next year.
What?
It is going to have dramatic effects on human health in this country.
Where the hell does 125 million pounds of human being go? Is it down the toilet? Is it evaporated into the atmosphere? Is there going to leave some kind of a carbon foot? There's got to be something going on. It's just disappearing. 125 million pounds of us are going to disappear next year. And it's kind of funny, right? You think about it. You're going to lose 125 million pounds of mass. It's just going to disappear, and nobody's asking any questions. It's kind of weird. It's kind of funny. NBC dramatically pulls the plug on Snoop Dogg's New Year's Eve special in the wake of homophobic comments. You know what? Suck it, NBC, honestly. You can just stick it, to be quite honest. Snoop Dogg's New Year's Eve special been canceled by NBC after he faced backlash for saying he was scared of bringing his kids into the movies because of the LGBT characters. He's a grandfather. He brings his kid into this movie, and he's a little bit surprised because he's there with his kids, and there's a romantic relationship with a female character in the Lightyear, whatever the hell movie that was, had a baby with another woman. So you got a couple different reasons why you got to explain that to your kid. First of all, 2 Ninas don't make a baby. Okay, that's part of it there, and then there's all the other stuff. And so Snoop had the audacity to say, I didn't come here for this crap. I just came here to watch a GD movie. He said, these are kids. We have to show that at this age, they're going to ask questions I don't have the answer for. And, of course, everybody got all butthurt about it. I don't know if that's the best expression. But anyway, the Pixar spinoff from film Lightyear, voiced by Chris Evans, featured Uzo Aduba, and I love their work. As Space Ranger Alicia Hawthorne, who is shown marrying her partner in Kiko, and raising a child in their brief montage, which also featured Disney's first same-sex kiss. And they're going to cancel Snoop Dogg's New Year's for that. You know what? Honestly, not going to be watching the Super Bowl thing. And ridiculous. I don't agree with Snoop on a lot of things, but I like Snoop. Snoop is a cool man. I know we disagree. He smokes a lot of weed and all that. Although he gave that up. But I enjoy some of his music. I was listening to it last night. Dog. Atomic Dog. Senate Democrats reportedly set to continue to drag out the government shutdown with another no vote on Friday, members claiming that people want us to fight. No, they don't, you a-holes. You don't give a flying rip about the American people. 2,000 air traffic controllers not working. By the way, 2,000 air traffic controllers not working. Hey, I think I got some good news. Should we do some good news? Let me get the good news jingle out, everybody. Here it is, the good news jingle.
We love to win. Winning, winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning, 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 lots of winning. It's oh so good.
And you know how much winning the Democrats are doing? None. The Democrats are doing D-word for Richard. Nothing, 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 nothing. They think they won on Tuesday. They didn't win on Tuesday. Everybody thought that was going to happen on Tuesday. And by the way, the Republican candidate for governor in Virginia sucked. Sorry, it just did. She's a terrible candidate. Yawn. All the, honestly, the charisma of an armadillo, like I told you. But anyway, here's some of the good news. Like, for instance, gas prices. I don't know if you noticed this, but gas prices are pretty amazing. And the nationwide gas price is $3 a gallon. But guess what? If you take California out of it, it's a lot lower.
But the good news is, Stuart, that when you look at what Americans are making, what they're taking home, gas prices taking just 1.5% of their take-home income, and that's at multi-decade lows.
Yeah.
So even though gas prices are still above that $3 a gallon mark and just barely, we're seeing less of a pinch on Americans' wallets as they hit the road for things like Thanksgiving and into the holidays.
I'm driving home to Kansas City from Washington, D.C. at Christmas.
At the moment, you're right. The average for regular gas, nationwide, the average is 3.
I may just fill up the car next to me. It's like, hey, I'll just get yours. What the hell, huh?
08 at this point. But
we'll stop at 10 gallons, but let me get it for you.
If you were to take out some of these West Coast states, especially California, take them out of the average, then the national average for regular would actually drop way down below $3 a gallon, I think. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely, Stuart. All you'd have to do is take out California. That represents about 10.
Wouldn't that be a dream come true?
For 15 cents a gallon, especially as California's state average has been going up. Some refinery issues there. $4.69 a gallon for the statewide average. You're still going to find
$4.69 a gallon for California gas. Wow.
Areas of California where some stations are $5 or $6 a gallon. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Gulf states.
Yeah, I mean, the gas is so expensive out there, you can't even start a forest fire. It's that expensive.
Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, home to some of the cheapest prices, Stuart, and hopefully you're sitting down. You're going to want to get a gas tanker. But yesterday, reports of a wholesale club in Austin, Texas, that is still selling gasoline at $1.98 a gallon.
Oh, my goodness. How cool is that? Who cool is that? Here's some more good news. The Trump administration border crackdown delivering results. October 2025 marked as the lowest number of illegals recorded in CBP history. It was the 6th straight month of zero releases into the U.S., into the United States, with just 30,000 encounters nationwide, down 79% from October 2024. DHS officials credit President Trump's leadership because all he did was shut down the damn border. And the only difference between him and Joe Biden is, he has a functioning brain. He has life experience, intelligence. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best way to put it, but he did something. He did something. Tens of thousands of Americans have applied to join the United States Citizen and Immigration Services as Homeland Defenders. Defenders of the Homeland. The Homeland Defender campaign has already seen a tremendous success and has resonated with the American people. Homeland Defenders will serve under USCIS and determine whether a foreign national is eligible for immigration benefits, including interviewing them and reviewing their applications, deciding if they can't vote. If you're here illegally, because the Democrats rely on people to vote for them even when they're illegal. Protect your homeland, defend your future, become a homeland defender. This is pretty funny. I think this is official. This is from the DHS. They came up with a little video, and it actually has Kristi Noem dancing, which I do not mind at all. But anyway, this is actually from the DHS, and it's so bad it's good. Yahoo!
God bless self-deportations. Self-deportations. Come on.
Come on. Listen to this.
Self-deportations. Come on.
Flipping out my 80s dance moves here.
There's an option just for you. The path is clear. Self-deportation. No longer live in fear. We'll help you pack your things.
We'll pay for your flight too.
Come on.
We're gonna celebrate your departure with you. Come on now.
They'll even let you fly with your shampoo out of here.
It's time to do it right. Illegal entry is a crime.
We won't confiscate your toothpaste.
Deportation.
Get the hell out.
The option to return and do it right this time.
This is real.
Keeping families together. It's up to you. Now's your chance, no pressure. Everyone here illegally. Come on.
But if you're really good, we're going to try and help you get back in.
Yahoo! Self-deportations, come on.
Deportation can be fun.
God bless self-deportations. Self-deportations, come on.
There you go. That is from the DHS.
God bless self-deportations. Self-deportations, come on.
It literally has the CBP app up there. You could... That is fantastic. Oh, my God in heaven. I hope that dancing Christine Ohm is real and not AI because, well, it's spectacular. It is spectacular. Let me see what else. And that's it for the good news. I will post that video on social media. Go to Rob Carson Show on all of the usual suspects. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Honey.
Fasten your seatbelt, Deep State. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's the Rob Carson Show.
What do you think Zoran's best policy is?
I think affordable housing, smaller classrooms, free buses, lower rents, freezing the rents for rent-stabilized buildings.
That sounds great. How do you achieve that?
I think that he has really high hopes, and I think that he has a lot of energy. And
achieve it through hope, or?
I think he's going to achieve it by really having a smart way of dealing with people and picking the proper people to work with him.
She barely creeps into the two-syllable words.
What is that smart way of dealing with it?
I think that he has a good sense of people around him. I think he makes good choices, and I think he works well with other people.
Where does the money come from?
He will figure it out. Like, I think that he
hasn't yet.
Back into hell, Karen. Honestly,
I think
back into the hell ye crawled out from, Karen.
Nobody knows where they're going to do it first. I think they work it out as they go along. They don't have a plan.
Oh, my God, please go away, Karen. Please make Karen go away. I realize Karen technically won in New Jersey and in Virginia, but God almighty, please let Karen just fade into oblivion. You're making women look bad. I'm not talking about conservative women. Conservative women kick ass. But Karen, honestly, what you're doing a lot of damage to women in general because, wow, you're just back into hell with ye. Back into the HOA. Go tell people that their grass is too long, or police the break room for refrigerator. Okay, go back to doing that. But by God, you shouldn't be making any policy citizens, and you don't need the right to vote. I'll just tell you that the liberal Karen should not have the right to vote because she's so beyond stupid. Here is Donald Trump talking about food stamps. Common sense on food stamps, by the way.
We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away based on a number. Here's an example.
Somebody wrote me today on social media, I think it was on Rumble, and in Northern Virginia, they fully charged the food stamp cards today, and they were in a grocery store, I think it was Sam's Club. And this is what happens when they recharge the food stamp cards, the SNAP cards. You can always tell who's on SNAP benefits because they don't give a rat's behind how much they fill that cart. They don't look at prices. They just fill it up. I mentioned, do you see carts in there that look like the Grinch who stole Christmas when he was getting ready to return the toys back to Whoville? That's what their carts look like. Loaded up, don't even care. They just loaded up. And so people in Northern Virginia, they are loaded up, man. They are emptying the store shelves.
When I was president, the number that you're talking about was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Biden went totally crazy, gave it to anybody that would ask, gave it to people that...
Yeah, because he gave it to a lot of illegals.
Were able...
53% of people on SNAP are illegals.
Had no problem. Anybody that would ask, we get the number. And it's many times the number of people are on. This wasn't meant for that.
No, it wasn't.
It was meant for people that had real problems. In many cases, people that were down and out, people that could be saved. It wasn't meant for people...
I actually had to have it a couple of years ago. When radio wouldn't give me a job, when the people in radio said, "Oh, you can't do talk radio." Oh, really? Yeah, really? Bill? Bill's still here in Washington, D.C. I hope he listens. Bill? Here is Donald Trump talking about Obamacare. I don't know if you knew this, but 15 years ago, Obamacare passed. I remember I was living in Washington, D.C. I listened to the radio, the final vote, very crestfallen because it was against the will of the American people. And I knew it would be a disaster. Well, guess what? It's a freaking disaster.
Obamacare is a disaster. The Obamacare premium is going to go up 17 or 18%, and that's not my fault. I didn't want Obamacare. That's the fault of the people that put it in, the Democrats. And now they want it subsidized further.
So let me see. 15 years ago, the average Zoran voter was 3. So they don't remember that they were going to fix health care and everything. But now it's pretty much screwed.
You know, where you take it from them, you take it from a lot of other people. We could have much better health care, at a much lower price.
Yeah, you could. Here's Peter Welch. He's a Democrat, and he even admits yesterday in Congress, Obamacare failed.
I owe you an answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason.
What?
We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
Well, that is really weird because, if I'm not mistaken, Zoran Mandami says that government is going to fix everything. I mean, you look at this is your Democrat Party. This is your country resulting in Marxism.
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Yes.
We know big government does not have all the answers. We know there's not a program for every problem.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
Oh, you're such a moron. And it never fixes a damn thing. You freaking moron. You've lived in the country for 7 years. Now you're going to be in charge of the largest city in the country and the financial capital of the world, and you couldn't even work at an Orange Julius. Your resume wouldn't get you hired at Orange Julius, for God's sakes. But, that's your Democrat Party. That's your Karen. That's the sort of stupid crap that you Karens end up electing. It is remarkable. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. He ought to stay with sports, but, he likes to mouth off on politics, usually fairly uninformed. He says he still likes Zohran Mamdani. I don't know how you could like a commie who hates Israel and is an Islamist, but here are some other problems that Stephen A. Smith has with Zohran.
I'm not happy about it. I like Mamdani. I'm looking forward to interviewing him.
Really? Why you like
him? He's promised to be on this show. But I'm very, very concerned about some of the things that he said.
Really? What?
I'm very concerned about what he once said about defunding the police.
Yeah.
I'm calling 911. I'm being real with you. I'm calling 911. That's what I'm doing. I don't want to see less.
Stephen, we call this common sense, what you're saying here.
Police officers. I want to see more police officers. I heard him talk about mental health experts in the subway system. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I want cops.
They're usually not good at stopping people from setting other people on fire or stabbing them.
In the subways.
Or throwing them onto the train tracks.
In New York City, where I was born and raised. Yeah. Born in the Bronx, raised in Queens. That's what I want.
Yeah, great. I was raised on a farm.
I want to hear about no damn mental health experts in subways. Nah, I'm not trying to hear that, okay? 2% tax on the rich. Okay, fine. 11.5% capital gains tax.
What's that going to do?
On its face, okay, fine.
Really?
When you think about the billionaires in the state, in the city of New York, they make up about 48% in terms of the amount of taxes that they do.
Holy crap! This is a Democrat.
Roll out compared to the average American, compared to the rest of New York.
Speaking the truth.
Then they take their businesses elsewhere. Yeah. So the money that they paid on their homes or in rent, they move out of the city or the state.
Yep.
Businesses follow. And ultimately the tax burden falls on to New Yorkers out there.
Wow.
Which means that rent freezes.
Well, he had to discover this in 2025.
Which is also something that Mamdani pushed. Is that really going to be plausible? Are you really going to be able to freeze rent? Or are you going to end up hiking it? Because you don't have enough people here to pay it.
Well, Stephen, all of those answers exist. You just need to study history. There you go. None of this would come as a big surprise, and it will fail again. Mary Walter joins us next, as she is wont to do on Fridays. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Newsmax, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code Newsmax at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word Newsmax for up to 40% off.
Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow, yeah. Everywhere the child went.
You know why I chose this song? Because I needed a song as cool as Mary Walter.
He followed her to school one day.
How was that for an introduction, Mary Walter? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. You know, you've used that song before. I want to say like 2 weeks ago because we commented about the bongos, remember?
Yes, I know, but the thing is, I've got so many balls in the air here. It's hard for me to find an individual new Mary song every week, so I've just kind of, I've gone with that one because I just like that song the best, actually.
Well, if you spent less time live streaming your meals, maybe you'd have more time.
Oh yes. I didn't put up the roasted new potatoes last night, but I did put up the new artwork. Have you noticed the artwork I've been putting up? Did you see the landscape of Georgetown that I put up yesterday?
Believe it or not, I don't spend all my time on social media.
Really? I'll just text it to you real quick.
I'll see it. I will see your apartment when it comes out in Architectural Digest.
It's going to happen. It's going to be. All right, so we got a lot of stuff going on.
It's not a before picture. Just pray it's not a before picture.
No, there's no before pictures up there. Let's talk a little bit about some things that happened this week. Obviously, Tuesday night, the elections didn't turn out as we had hoped, but I think we were kind of hoping against hope with a lot of them. Although I'm not so sure I believe the election results in New Jersey, because there are about 500,000 more votes this election than they were for the last governor. I'm sorry. I think there's a lot of shenanigans. I think there's a lot of illegals voting in the state of New Jersey. What are your thoughts?
Get out. I'm shocked. Do you think there's illegals here? Get out.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was a rumor.
Yeah.
But
I can tell you where they live. I can probably point to it a couple doors to go knock on. Yeah. 100%. So I went to go vote. I voted early. I voted on the first day of early voting, and you go in. So what you can do here is you get you get your sample ballot in the mail, and there's a QR code on it, and you can bring it. They scan the QR code, and they have your, they pull up your information, and the only thing they ask you is what's your birthday. That's it.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, so I had no problem, but a friend of mine had a problem, and they were telling her that there was a problem with her address or something like that. And she said, and they said, so you're going to have to vote on a provisional ballot. And she's like how I am? No. And she said, here's my license with my address. And they go, no, I'm not allowed to look at your license.
Dear God.
They are forbidden.
I know.
They are not allowed. They are forbidden to look at your ID.
I know. And it's all because, and if you watched Joe Rogan interview Elon Musk, it was because illegals are voting. The Democrat Party wants them to vote. That's why they want the largesse of government health care in places like California, because you can load up people from the third world with government benefits, and they will do anything you want. And one of the things they do is vote Democrat. And if you look at the numbers in New Jersey, make no sense. And listen, remember we were told you can't have any questions about elections a few years ago. They called it disinformation and misinformation. I think they need to look into it. It's starting to gain a little bit of ground. They want to find out who's voting in New Jersey and why 500,000 more people voted in the governor's race this year when the population of New Jersey did not grow that much.
Well, exactly. And also there was 8 districts shut down due to bomb scares.
Yeah.
Bomb threats. Yeah. You had up in Passaic County, which the reason Passaic County was targeted by the Democrats is because Passaic County is primarily Hispanic. Yeah. And there's an interesting demographic change. They're being pushed out by Muslims coming in. So they flipped and voted for Trump.
Wow.
They're becoming more conservative.
Yeah.
So in Passaic, when they were bringing in, when the absentee ballots first started coming in, they're supposed to be kept in like a locked room, and you have a sign-in sheet and a sign-out sheet. They did none of that.
Of course.
So now the DOJ had to monitor that. So the 100% shenanigans. And did you see there is a mayor in Kansas, just got elected mayor. He's an illegal immigrant who voted several times. And he probably just walked in because he's, the mayor, and so everybody expects him to vote. And so he just walked in, and they didn't check anything because, like, oh, he's the mayor. So he just went and voted.
Yeah.
There's something like 6 charges of illegal voting against him.
It's ridiculous, and it's going on all over the country. Going on in California. This is why they don't ask for ID. This is why they always say they act like it's racism or whatever. And they do vote. They do vote. Give me a friggin' break. They vote in mass. Doge started to really uncover all of this. People getting Social Security numbers. 9 million people got Social Security numbers. And you go in and vote, and there's no. And by the way, in states like New Jersey and California, there's no investigation into voter fraud. They don't even bother looking at it. They say it doesn't exist, and then when somebody tries to bring it up, they don't investigate it. Duh.
No, they do not. And in Maine, the dopey people in Maine, they could have voted to make voter ID mandatory, showing your ID mandatory, and the dopey people in Maine, something over 60% of them voted against having to show ID to vote.
Yeah.
So those dummies are willing to have their votes canceled out by someone who doesn't have the right to vote, but they figure that they're going to vote the same way they do anyway, so they don't care.
Well, they're self-loathing liberals. They are self-loathing liberals. The same thing's happening in New York City for every Jew who voted for Zoran Mondani. What the hell are you thinking? What the hell are you thinking? What do you think about the, I mean, it's not a surprise. Everybody said he was going to win. He was competing with a crap sandwich, for crying out loud, Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa. What do you think is going to happen in New York? You're closer to the action than me.
Well, unfortunately, because I do live in the People's Socialist Republic of New Jersey, we're going to bear the brunt of it.
Yeah.
But like we did during COVID, like we did when Dinkins screwed up the city the first time, they move out of the city and they think, well, Jersey's a bunch of bumpkins, you're a bunch of hicks. And they move into New Jersey, and they're so much smarter. Anyway, liberals are just so much smarter than everybody, and they know so much better than everyone. And they come here and they vote blue again because they're locusts and never connect. They're so smart that they never connect their vote with the outcome.
Yeah.
So we got overrun in COVID. There's so many people, even in my tiny little town of 3,500 people, we saw someone with blue hair. That never happens. And I'm like, we're pretty conservative, and there's a blue hair, and I'm like, oh, God, they're here.
Now, you're talking about blue hair under the age of 20 with gauged ears. Those are the blue hairs you're talking about.
Well, no, I'm talking like
the old people.
I'm talking like
Karen?
like 40-year-old white liberal woman.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Karen.
A quick little story. My friend was canvassing. Two of my friends were canvassing in town, and this woman, they got to the house, and they said we knew what we were up against because the blue hair. And maybe it was purple, but whatever, regardless. And she was agreeing with all of these policies of Jack Ciattarelli's.
Yeah.
And they got to boys playing in girls' sports, which Mikey Sherrill's all for.
Yeah.
And she's also going to make LGBT alphabet, ideology or whatever mandatory in the schools. And the woman says, well, they say, so how do you feel about boys competing in girls' sports and being in girls' locker rooms? And she looked at them and said, well, that doesn't happen.
Oh, dear Lord.
Now, her son, who was high school age, was dancing, he was there, and he was walking in and out of the house, and he heard the exchange, and he looked at his mom, he goes, yes, it does.
Wow.
And she said, what do you mean? And he told her about something. He goes, well, don't you remember the game, da-da-da-da-da, and that one player, and he goes, that was a dude.
Wow.
And so she said, why didn't you tell me? And he looked at her and said, because I know what your response would be.
Exactly. Yeah, shut him down, whatever. That's typical Karen behavior. Mary Walter, hold on. There's much more to cover on the other side of this break, and this is The Rob Carson Show.
Are you nearly mad?
Busy.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Yeah, there you go. She's like, I really want to talk about it because it's so incredibly stupid that you would ask the question. Sydney Sweeney defending being hot and wearing jeans in an ad campaign. Ridiculous. Mary Walter. When I was in high school, I had a Farrah Fawcett poster, and you could not have pried that out of my cold dead hands. But this is what they tried to do, and it looks like it has backfired spectacular. And she's unapologetic about it too.
Yeah, first of all, who's that interviewer who asked questions and she talked like this?
Oh, yeah, she's an up-talker.
How do you want to feel about that? And would you like to make a comment? Like, oh my God, how old are you, 12?
I know. Up-talkers.
Horrific. That's horrific. So you know just by the way she speaks that the question's going to be dumb.
Yes.
Like, that's number one. Number two, am I the only person who doesn't think Sydney Sweeney's hot? Like, I can give props. When I think someone's hot, someone's hot. I don't think she's hot.
What? You don't think that Sydney Sweeney's hot?
No, I think she's got a great body.
Did you see the picture of her the other day when she was at the camera and it was showing through the top and everything?
You liked it because she had a see-through dress on. Look at her face. She does have a face.
Oh,
I don't know if you've noticed.
We're not even going to go there.
Look at the face. I don't think and that's just me, and I'm not trashing her. God bless her. She's successful. She's got a great body. She's very genetically blessed. To get back to that, but in that sense, but I just don't think facially, like I don't think she's hot.
Well, I could say that Matthew McConaughey and Magic Mike was very hot without being attracted to him. So I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, and listen, I give credit where credit is due. If I think so, like I think Melania is beautiful.
Oh my God! Did you see her last night at the awards?
Yes. See, to me, that's hot. Sydney Sweeney, when compared to Melania Trump,
well, that is true.
I don't understand what the big brouhaha is. Anyway,
who cares?
Whatever.
You know what? Here's the thing. Because young men, for instance, when I grew up, it was Farrah Fawcett, it was Linda, what's her name, Wonder Woman, Cheryl Tiegs, and all of that. And then you move into the next iteration of that person. And so when you get a little bit older, they're not going to be as hot to you because you're looking at children.
Yeah, maybe, but again, I don't know. Like I'm a woman. I feel weird making a comment about like a 17-year-old boy saying he's hot, but I could say that he's good looking, and I think he is good looking.
Yes.
I wouldn't say hot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But good for her. And have you noticed Donald Trump has given everyone the right to give 0 Fs? Right?
Oh, yeah.
The whole administration.
Oh, yeah.
Zero. And it's awesome. Donald Trump in the end was with Viktor Orban, the president of Hungary.
Yeah.
And some reporter asked him something. He goes, "Where are you from? Who are you with?" And she said, whoever it was, he goes, "You're fake news. You're dumb. It's a dumb organization." Or something like that. And it's great. Right? So I love it. Or he'll look at them and go, "That's a dumb question. I'm not answering it."
I love it.
So he's kind of giving people the freedom to do that. But last thing on Sydney Sweeney, what I don't like about all of this is that because she doesn't apologize. Like if you don't legitimize a dumb question, like if you don't legitimize a stupid person or a crazy person, then you're automatically conservative and the left has nothing to do with you because you don't participate in their fantasy.
That's true. Hey, what do you think about this transgender dude going into the locker room and the woman chasing him out? I'm trying to remember her name here, but she's Tish Hyman chases him out. Turns out this guy was married. He was an abusive husband. He broke his wife's jaw. Then after they were divorced, he decided to become a woman, and he stole her name. Put the lotion in the basket. I mean, honestly, this man is a danger, not only just being a man in the locker room, but this man in the locker room.
Can I just say,
what?
I love that woman because she was going to take him and break him in two.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh God, I hope she was smart enough not to lay hands on him. But they finally rejected his gym membership as well. But hers should never have been rejected.
No.
And Gold's Gym is distancing themselves. They're going, that was a franchise that we sold. It's changed names. It's no longer our gym. You know, they're distancing themselves from this craziness. People
just done with it. Done with it. And I'm going to tell you what. my daughter's grown. I would have faced charges to go into a locker room and grab that SOB by the hair and say, you get your ass out of this room. There's a point where men are going to have to step up, or women like her, and you actually just show them the damned exit, because this is ridiculous. And this man is a danger anyway.
And just because he put on a pair of earrings doesn't make him a woman. Wait, what is that? So does that mean, I'm going to say this, so like all of those left-wingers who put on blackface, Jimmy Kimmel, Ted Danson, Sarah Silverman, all of those who put on blackface and were excused for it, they're like, well, you know, it was a couple of years ago, and, you know, the typical left is BS, right? But if someone on the right gets caught doing that, then, you know, it's horrible. Justin Trudeau becomes prime minister even though he did it, right?
Well, you know, and the thing is, the reason why, for instance, there was blackface was to keep black actors from getting jobs. The reason why, in Shakespearean times, they had men on stage dressed as women because they wouldn't allow women to act. So you are wearing woman face when you do this.
Right, and that is exactly what my point was going to be. Yep. Thank you for interrupting me and taking it. But that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, but yet, cultural, like race appropriation is wrong, but it's okay for a man to put on a pair of earrings and just declare himself a woman and walk around a woman's locker room with Big Jim and the twins hanging out, and it's all right.
All right, Mary, we're going to end on a high note there.
This is the high note of your show. Seriously, we got some work to do.
I know. Where can people find your glorious podcast and your presence online?
Well, actually, they can find me tonight on the Carl Higbie Show around approximately 6:25 Eastern Time. But, you know, that sometimes moves, so just saying.
All right.
And Mondays on the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax as well.
Cool.
And my podcast is on Tuesdays, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a live cast. It's interactive. You can participate on YouTube, Getter, and Rumble.
All right.
Look for Mary Walter Radio and the audio. I'm not done yet. The audio is available on Apple Podcasts, Apple, Spotify, and Spreaker. Look for Mary Walter Radio. See, I screwed up because you rushed me. So I hope you're happy.
Goodbye. Have a nice weekend. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I think what we have to do is just say, Google my name, right? Isn't that what you really got to do now, is just say, Google my name. Just ridiculous. Excuse me, I need the Kleenex. I got a little hot sauce a few minutes ago here. My nose is a little drippy. All right, who's watching here? Joseph T8PL1Z, whatever the hell. Good to see you. When Maryland gets snapped back, drug dealers and bar owners can get paid. Funny. Yeah. I don't know who you are, Joe. Shout out to all the fools, bums, idiots. U.S. soldiers died fighting communists in Korea, North Korea. Okay, I think I get your point there. Wonder Bread, White, Rob, LOL. That's Mickey Hastings. We used to get Wonder Bread when I was a kid. Wonder Bread was it, because you know why? Because it was garbage bread, right? It was soft, like a sponge, and then you got a sticker. You got a sticker or a temporary tattoo in the bag. Remember that? You remember that? It's kind of a big deal when you're poor living in Iowa. Brani says, my friend that is disabled just got called and said she received her CalFresh Snap. Dale Arsenault, Joe Gold sold out years ago, opened up World's Gym. Yeah, I've been there. I go to a place now. I've been to Gold's. Gold's is okay. I really like going to Crunch. Crunch is my favorite. And they do weights, free weights and all that, because I do free weights now. I love it. I'm back to doing free weights. Dookie Bear, we had store brand bread. Well, yeah, we did too. Well, you know what my mom finally ended up doing? She made, and it was a gift because we didn't have any money. She made homemade bread every day. My mother made homemade bread every day. She, did yeast and the whole deal. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. But Wonder Bread's terrible. It's hyper processed. It's terrible.
WCBM and WCBM.com.
About 3 minutes here.
the Rob Carson Show on a Friday. And Nancy Pelosi effectively is retiring, finally, 40 years of awfulness. What an awful, awful woman she was. She went after Donald Trump twice, impeached him twice, tore up the State of the Union. This is a wretched, awful woman who enriched herself, could have given a rant behind about her constituents in San Francisco that has gone to the pits of hell. San Francisco, the Tenderloin District. They've got maps where you have to step around human feces. What an awful, wretched, terrible woman. Terrible, terrible woman who has flying monkeys working for her. It's that time of the year. Birch Gold gives away free gold every qualifying purchase. That's right, for Black Friday, when you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, Birch Gold will send you free gold to your home for every $20,000 purchased. Gold started out this year at $2,600 an ounce. It's over $4,000 right now. Silver's gone crazy too, by the way. Global uncertainty is driving all of this. Gold thrives in times of uncertainty. In case you didn't know, if you want to learn more about this from Birch Gold, a company that I trust, they have my money. Text Rob to 989898 to claim your eligibility for a free info kit on gold. But your opportunity for free gold with purchase ends November the 30th. Don't wait. Text Rob to 989898. That's Rob to 989898 today. This is Hugh Hewitt last night on Fox talking about Nancy Pelosi.
I do remember Bill Clinton working all of the 1990s to bring the Democratic Party to the center. And then Nancy Pelosi became Democratic Party whip in 2001, and she has spent 25 years dragging it to the San Francisco Democrat left.
Yep.
And she succeeded most obviously in New York on Tuesday night with an anti-Semitic communist winning and a Marxist, just an out-and-out Marxist.
Yeah,
so Nancy Pelosi's long march to the left is over, and she's leaving the Democratic Party with Comrade Mamdani as its face.
Yeah.
I also have to say, you're right about Obamacare. It is her most significant legislative achievement.
And it's a turd.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's a failure of epic proportion.
Yeah.
It's why the Schumer shutdown is now the longest shutdown in history. They need a bailout.
Oh, yeah, don't forget what she did with January the 6th, her complicity in that, and a lot of people spending 4 years in jail without trials.
So I think history will not be kind to her, and certainly President Trump isn't.
Certainly her face. History hasn't been too kind to her face either.
Being kind to her, because he bested her twice. He's won twice, and she couldn't stop.
Beat her twice. And honestly, I'm not going to give too much credit to Nancy Pelosi, who, again, made herself rich to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars while her constituents rotted. She went and got her hair done and her nails done in the height of COVID, and then ate $12 a pint ice cream out of a $24,000 freezer. So I say, to hell with her. If you call that public service, you're out of your nut. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere. It's only going to get better if it's possible.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to the last hour of the show today. I want to remind you my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, is on Sunday night on Newsmax at 8:30. This weekend show is very funny. Very, 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 very funny. The only comedy show on Newsmax, thank you very much. The show that Donald Trump says makes me the funniest guy on television. He told me in person at Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. He told me in person, you're the funniest guy on television. And he also said to Chris Ruddy, the guy who owns Newsmax, he says, don't ever get rid of that guy. Are you guys still listening there at Newsmax? Donald Trump says never get rid of me. So, just wanted to tell you. And I live like 5 miles from him, so there you go. Anyway, check out the TV show. It's called Rob Carson's What in the World on Newsmax. The Department of Justice is preparing to issue a series of grand jury subpoenas as part of the Florida-based investigation into former CIA Director John Brennan and the probes by the CIA and FBI into election interference in the 2016 election. They tried to commit a coup against Donald Trump in 2016. They tried to steal the election in 2016, and they succeeded in 2020. You can't say that. Well, I just did. Kiss my butt. Here is John Solomon. There's some other subpoenas going out. John Solomon, by the way, Just the News here in Washington, D.C. I was reading yesterday on his Twitter feed, they're expanding into his newsroom. His newsroom is, they got hired like 20 people. The Just the News thing is kicking butt. You know why? Because it's Just the News. And he's awesome.
I can't talk Absolutely. I'm going to hit it. All right. We have just confirmed that more than 30 grand jury subpoenas were dispatched, not in the John Brennan case, but in other Russiagate matters. One of the largest batches of subpoenas to go out. Some of these came out of the Florida grand jury, where we think eventually in January the grand conspiracy case will be presented to grand jurors. But
yeah, grand conspiracy involving Russia collusion, maybe segueing into the political indictments of Donald Trump and the coordination out of the White House. There's a lot of stuff to do. January the 6th, there's a lot of stuff that the left did to us. The DHS and the censorship industrial complex shutting down the First Amendment. A lot of people need to go to jail or worse. The opening of the southern border wholesale and allowing our enemies to come in, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Americans. Oh, how about that COVID lab leak that everybody knew about because we paid for COVID and they unleashed it on our country? How about that too?
A sign that this accountability machine is starting to ramp up.
Good.
And that more and more activity is getting going, whether it's grand jury subpoenas, documents turning over. I still think there's a big logjam at the Justice Department, but this is a good sign that the FBI's investigative tools are
they're going to need a lot of prosecutors. They're going to need a lot of lawyers for all of the evil crap that they pulled on us. Study confirms that the media has been playing defense for the Democrat Party throughout the government shutdown. Is that a surprise to you that the Democrat Party, even though it's their fault that the government is shut down, that the media is covering for them?
This is the first time in recent memory that I can remember with regard to a government shutdown in which there has been an attempt to blame the party that wants the clean CR for the shutdown.
Yes.
Like, usually the shoe's on the other foot. Usually the Republicans are the ones who are responsible for the government shutdown because they're asking for changes. As soon as the situation is changed, suddenly the blame still falls on Republicans.
But there is an answer to the mystery.
Yeah.
The media is playing defense for Democrats. An analysis of evening news broadcast revealing that over the last month, there were only 12 critical statements or favorable statements for Republicans, but 83 favorable statements for Democrats.
You know, aren't you just kind of tired of ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, NPR? This is why they want $500 million for PBS, because they don't have the sounding board of PBS right now being funded by us. For the past month, the big three broadcast networks, who are not big anymore, they're very small actually, have been hammered by both congressional Republicans and President Trump with a wall of negative shutdown coverage, while largely shielding Democrats from blame on the now historic gridlock. MRC analysts examined every evening newscast, ABC, CBS, NBC. 67 reports and news briefs which discussed the government shutdown. 87% of the coverage favored Democrats. Analysts found 83 evaluative statements in which anchors or reporters were critical of Republicans, but just 12 criticizing Democrats. And they never give up, do they? They're like the frickin' Energizer Bunny. This is why they're dead. And the amazing thing is they know they're dying. They know they are dying, but they're so addicted to leftism that they can't stop. It is utterly ridiculous. But what are you going to do? I thought I had another piece of audio with regard to that, but you know what? I don't, because I'm going to move on from that. Let's talk about sex, baby. No, let's not talk about sex. Let's talk a little bit more about Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani, the now mayor of New York City. There are a couple things I wanted to get to. Miranda Devine was on. She's with the New York Post, and she's amazing. And she was talking about why Zohran Mamdani. And, there's a couple of things that happened with Gen Z. One of the ones that I focused on is that Gen Z were attacked by the COVID shutdown. It was a deliberate psyop against Gen Z. It was a deliberate attempt to interfere with an election, to shut down a country, to usher in mail-in ballots. It's very clear. It's very clear because they called my opinions disinformation, misinformation. Everything that I said countered the government was true, in other words. And it worked two different ways. One of the ways it did is with conservatives and a lot of kids, maybe not just conservatives. It isolated them, but they ended up coming together. They may have been online, but they recognize now the importance of human contact. They also recognize that all of the things that maybe my generation, Generation X, thought were so important in youth, like going to clubs, smoking cigarettes, going to keggers, all of this stuff, partying. Have you seen the movie Porky's? Nobody's seen that movie. That was my generation. That's how guys kind of were. I'm not saying all of them, but we certainly did a number of things that were hedonistic, to say the least. Not saying we were bad, but this generation is much different. My daughter is 20 years old. She has never had a drink. She has never smoked marijuana or even considered it. And she doesn't curse, which is amazing considering, she's my daughter. Because, let me just say, I could be a little salty at times, particularly when I put together IKEA furniture. Then it's just, you don't want to be around. But and then on the opposite side, you've got young people who did not get exposed to the truth about history, have only been brainwashed that America is slavery, blah, blah, blah. And those are the ones who voted for Zohran Mamdani. They're the people who have no life experience. They're the people who don't have jobs. They're not particularly driven to be excellent. They have been told that they've been given participation trophies. They didn't go above and beyond all the duty, Call of Duty. They take part in classroom assignments where you have group assignments, and they phone it in while the other hardworking kids do all the work and get the same grade. That's socialism right there, by the way. I discovered that in college. But here is Miranda Devine talking about the generation who voted for Zohran.
They're just concentrating on the grift. Joe Biden was their perfect avatar, their last president. And you can't blame young people who vote Democrat for being utterly disillusioned and deciding to burn the house down and choose youth in Mamdani. He is young. He is a revolutionary. He represents something very...
And I might also add, the people who vote for him are profoundly ignorant. That's why Lenin called them useful idiots.
Very dangerous to this country. It's not just confined to the civil war in the Democratic Party. The whole origins of it are that establishment, these evil, as Donald Trump called Nancy Pelosi, and I think that's very apt.
Yeah, me too.
These people who just feasted on the carcass of that party, never committed themselves to renewal or passing the baton to the next generation.
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi just burned her way through Washington, D.C. She didn't make life any better. She passed Obamacare against the will of the people. She somehow considered some sort of a lion and a leader for being able to extort. And she's an evil person. She's an evil frickin' person. There's nothing likable about her either, even if you're a Democrat. And if you like her as a Democrat, you're an unlikable person as well. Here's Miranda Devine talking about what Trump needs to do to New York. And I've been thinking about this, and I agree.
They were so cynical that now what's happened is that this very dangerous, scary ideology, ancient ideology, has now captured that grand
Islamism. It's number one. It's Islamism.
old party.
There's going to be a showdown, by the way, between us and radical Islam on American soil, and it won't last long. We're going to win, but there's going to have to be a little showdown.
We'll call it that. And all of us will suffer. It doesn't matter if you voted Republican. Half of the
Hillbillies, homeboys, Hebrews.
This city did not vote for Mamdani, but we're all hostage to him. And I think Donald Trump needs to gird his loins, and I know he is partial to his
I haven't
hometown,
had my loins girded in a while.
but I think he has to be tough and really stop any federal funds going to a city if Mamdani refuses to cooperate, particularly on immigration.
Cut them off, baby. Cut them off. 100%. Bernie Sanders loves Zoran. Here's Jim Gossett as Bernie.
I've got a crush on you, Mamdani.
You smell mothballs, anybody?
You're a communist, just like me.
Smells like old man around here.
Private business, we oppose it. A takeover, we will propose it.
He's never gotten anything accomplished.
Seize your house.
He has 4 of them.
Take your car.
Probably has several of those.
Zoran Mamdani is our new star.
Don't think he knows how to drive, though.
The world will pardon my mush.
Hopefully somebody took his keys away.
But I have got a crush, Mamdani, on you.
That is Jim Gossett. If you want to help him out, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Coming up, the Associated Press publishes an absurd video targeting pet ownership for climate change. That's coming up. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Rent-free in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live. Drugs transported by boat, Venezuela. You best take note. Cartels, they're having fits, 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits the drug boat. It now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat. Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs we won't tolerate. Shut it down before it's too late. No drugs. A boat that was filled with drugs.
You got what? There you go.
Relentlessly slowing the spread of the stupid every day. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is the Rob Carson Show. We're going to talk to Christian Toto at the bottom of the hour. Stephen Colbert says, I'm not really left of center. Yeah, you know what? You burned down late night, so a little too late for that. At least Stefanik is going to run for governor of New York. Listen to this.
The Empire State has fallen.
People are just going crazy over the amount of taxes here.
There's no question. New York is facing an affordability crisis.
Escape from New York, the tax base has been fleeing the Empire State.
Top leaders in New York City say a wave of migrant crime has washed over the city. Foreign gang members terrorizing innocent New Yorkers.
Complete disregard for the law.
And Kathy Hochul's failed policies are to blame.
Worst governor in America.
Worst governor in America.
Worst governor in America.
Kathy Hochul made New York the most unaffordable state in the nation, crushing families with sky-high taxes, unaffordable rent, soaring energy costs, and record-high grocery bills.
Yeah, pretty much.
And cozied up to a defund the police, tax-hiking, anti-Semitic communist.
We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
All right, let's move to the good stuff here about Elise.
More help. And she'll make New York affordable. That's why she authored and passed the largest middle-class tax cut in New York's history.
Come on!
Letting working families keep more of their hard-earned money. Elise will reduce your energy, utility, and grocery bills. She fought woke insanity in our schools.
Yeah, well, she's already ahead of Kathy Hochul by a point. That's only going to grow because she endorsed Zoran Mandami. Unbelievable. And, we all know what's going to happen in New York City. And honestly, you're on your own, New York. Yon yon. Okay, I want to do this. We haven't had a Who Caught the Stupid update in a while, so here it is.
Stupid, people. Just plain stupid.
Stupid is stupid does, Miss Blue.
Who got stupid?
All right, so, the left never stops parroting this nonsense about what was global cooling, then it became global warming, then it became climate change because it didn't fit any of the narratives, and it was exposed as a complete joke. Bill Gates, after spending billions of dollars on it, said, the world's not going to end. We ought to focus on disease. It's always been a scam, but the AP dedicated 32 paragraphs and 5 seconds along with a video on social media to the climate change dangers that having a pet poses. So all you crazy cat lady liberals, you are destroying the planet. Here is a little sample of the climate. This is about your pet, okay? And let me just tell you this. Your cat, dog, if you have a dozen dogs or cats, they don't matter a hill of beans as far as the climate is concerned. Not one little bit. Because I hate to tell you this, you produce more crap than your dog will ever produce, okay? Unless you got a really big dog and you don't eat a lot. You produce a lot more crap than your dog, and you of course, you also consume a lot more than your dog or cat. You you put gas in your car car and you drive your car and you live in a house and you eat food and you eat steak and all of this. You know what your dog does? Your dog gets a little bag of dog food. There you go. And then goes out and craps in the yard. That's what your dog does. But these idiots at the AP think your dog is a threat.
Pets bring us joy, but they also leave a surprising paw print on the planet.
Yeah, when it comes to those environmental impacts, it's their food, basically, and in particular, the ingredients in their food.
Oh, is it going to be? I'll bet it's going to be about meat. I'll bet it's going to be about meat.
Cats both eat pretty highly meat-based diets.
Yeah, because that's what animals eat. That's what dogs eat. They're omnivorous. They eat grass. It doesn't mean they're sick. They actually like grass. But they also eat meat, you see, because they're carnivorous. Omnivorous technically, but really carnivorous. Cats are carnivorous.
What do we know about meat? It's one of the key drivers of climate change.
No, it's not, because it's not changing the climate. You moron. Show me one study that shows your dog crapping in your yard is affecting the friggin' climate.
What else do pets do? Like, we have to feed them. I think that's why it's number one.
Oh my God, she's an up-talker. She's genius.
Agriculture and where food comes from and ingredients has a huge impact.
Why don't you stop eating and start things off to save the planet?
But our choices go beyond the food bowl. Even how we bring pets into our homes matters.
Okay, don't tell me. You don't want to go to a dog breeder.
If there are dogs in the world that already exist that need homes,
yeah,
it seems to be a more responsible decision.
Okay, well, should you adopt a kid then instead of having one?
For the planet than going through a breeder.
This is basically an area of climate change.
Oh, I just can't take it anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up with our stupid jingle.
Stupid, 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 people. Just plain stupid.
Stupid as stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
Who got the stupid? You're too stupid to have a good time.
A woman ordered medicine by mail, instead got a box of human fingers. That would be a little surprising, wouldn't it? When you're on Amazon, don't order finger food. So, woman in Hopkinsville, Kentucky was waiting for a shipment of medicine and medical supplies. When it arrived, she ripped the box open, found it was filled with human arms and fingers. Wow, that is going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Christian County Coroner Scott Daniel confirmed the incident, saying the box was originally meant for surgical training somewhere between an airline, a freight company, and a courier. The package was misrouted, turning a routine delivery, oh boy, into what could be easily interpreted as a threat from the mob. Yeah, you'd be thinking, like, what the hell, these Antifa people? The Democrat Party, they really don't want us to vote on that filibuster. Anyway, the box of remains showed up at the woman's home, and they came and collected them to store in the morgue until the courier retrieved them later that morning. Human remains are being shipped all the time, Barrett. I don't know did you know this? Did you notice? Sometimes it's for medical reasons, other times for educational purposes. Regardless, they rarely end up on the doorstep of somebody who's not expecting them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. I don't have time to do this next story. I was going to do this next story about Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, but I'm not going to do that because we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with Christian Toto from Hollywood and Toto talking about Stephen Colbert after he destroyed late night by being so left of center. He's now saying that he's really not a liberal. He's really not a liberal. Jon Stewart, by the way, just got signed to 1 more year deal on his contract, even though he works 1 day a week. Kind of like Rachel Madcow. Anyway, that's coming up next on this Friday edition of The Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They were incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
Letitia James is gonna be in trouble. The FBI is looking at her loan. They just launched a new investigation. The name Letitia gave was not her own. I hope they nail her, jail her, send her to the slammer. She should be fired, retired for all the laws she broke. Letitia James is through, you know it's true. I'll be excited when she's indicted. Letitia's gonna get handcuffed and I think I like it. I'll be delighted when she's indicted. I know that she's guilty. Letitia's going down. She'll be run out of town. %, that's what Kimmel's lost since they put him back on the air. The morons at ABC were too blind to see that about Kimmel no one cares. 85% in a key demo. That is what Kimmel lost. Why do they keep him around? To keep losing ground. Still air him no matter what the cost. Sinclair must feel real stupid now. Next star still with regret. 71% wonder where they went. On Kimmel's failure you can bet.
Disney stock was $197 a share in March of 2021. Now it's $122 a share.
Disney must be in panic mode. They'd pull this show if they could. Why did they bring him back? This a funny hack. Suspension should have been for good.
So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
Yeah, sounds like a typical action movie, thriller. It's got a lot of sound effects, a lot of explosions and whatnot. That is Predator Badlands. To talk about this and other things is Christian Toto from Hollywood in Toto, hollywoodintoto.com. And it sounds like from your site it should just be called Predator Bad.
Yeah, I was pretty harsh on this one, and I don't backtrack from that. Having said that, I think if you're a teenager and you have low expectations, you're not sort of really invested in the franchise, it's passable. It's a very different kind of Predator movie in that the Predator is essentially the good guy, and he's teaming up with a female robot, and it's like the two of them against the world. So, I don't know. I mean, they've gone so far afield from the whole gimmick behind Predator. And also, when you first saw the Predator movie, like, he was fearsome and weird, and had strange powers, and he could be invisible. There was a real sense of menace here, and now it's like, oh, he's just a cuddly good guy. That's fine.
So, wait, hold on. They made the Predator into a good guy? That's ridiculous. That's like the alien becoming a good guy.
I know. I know. Also, you give them points of originality. They've stretched this whole franchise like Kathy at this point.
Yeah.
It's certainly not recognizable from the 87 version with Dutch getting to the chopper, but it's they just want that IP, they want that brand recognition.
I know.
If they can tell a vastly different story, they'll do it, and it's fine. It's really action packed, I will say.
Yeah.
And Elle Fanning is the star here. She plays the robot without the legs, and she gets carried around by the Predator.
Wow, who the hell comes up with this stuff? I mean, seriously, this is what happens when marijuana is legalized. I mean, it's got to be. So that was an Alien versus Predator. Did either one of those become good guys in that movie? I don't remember. My son has been infatuated with Predator since the day he was born. He was born in 1999, and everything Predator, he freaking loves Predator, man. He's just crazy about it. And Alien, by the way.
Well, I'd love to get his reaction to this because it's so different. And again, it's competently made. It's not boring. It is different. But, if you love the fearsome Predator, he just seems like another alien right now.
Maybe they need to team him up where the Predator teams up with Elmer Fudd and they hunt for wabbits. Maybe that's the next thing.
That's a great crossover idea. You're thinking Hollywood style.
I swear to God. You know what's really funny? I've been, because I have a lot of spare time and I live by myself now, but I have been watching some old Looney Tunes, and I think it's Tubi that does it. I'm not sure. But I've been watching the old Looney Tunes. God dang it, they're so friggin' brilliant.
Yeah, they hold up beautifully, too. I mean, part of it is like physical humor, but they were smart, and they didn't insult or talk down to the audience. And it's good stuff, great animation.
One of my favorites is when Bugs Bunny becomes the Leopold, and the opera singer bullies him, tries to get him to move, and he ends up singing. And then the other one, obviously the Barber of the Rabbit of Seville. And then the other one is the one where he goes into the castle and the beast, the red beast with Chuck Taylor shoes.
Oh, yes.
Remember that one? You know where I saw that? I saw Yes in concert in 1984. That's how they opened the show.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical.
So I want to play something here real quick. This is Stephen Colbert.
I think people perceive me as this sort of lefty figure. I think I'm more conservative than people think. I just happen to be talking about a government in extremis.
Yeah.
And so what I'm giving you is my reaction video to the day. and my reaction video is like the Scream.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, well, why didn't you react that way when Joe Biden had pudding for brains and was in office and wrecked the damned country? Honestly, are you expected to believe this?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, the interview, I think, is from GQ magazine. If he was drinking some water at the point, he should have did a spit take and sprayed Colbert with water because it's so ridiculous. But you have to ask a follow-up question. Stephen, you say that, but we haven't seen an ounce of conservative views for the last decade. Where are you hiding it?
Yeah.
But listen, here's the thing. He wants people on the left, on the right, and the middle, center right to right. He wants to have some more cachet with them, and he knows he has none. So if he pretends that he's a fair and balanced truth teller, then you're like, oh my gosh, he's kind of middle of the road, and he's aghast at Trump, so he he must be onto something. That's the shtick.
Well, it's not going to work. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dear God in heaven, did you get a chance to this week, by the way, watch Marjorie Taylor Greene on The View? I watched a little bit of it. I'm not so sure I'm crazy about her pivot to the center.
I don't know what to think about her. I mean, there's a way to do that and a way to criticize your own side. But, scampering over to The View, I don't think that would be in my top 100 choices on how to kind of be loyal to conservatives and speak truth and sort of try to correct the party if I saw something going wrong.
Well, she's really wrong with that. I think she's burning a lot of bridges, and she's burning them with me because I always expected her to be this firebrand who, would honestly, she would have fallen on a sword for Donald Trump. Now she's not doing that anymore, and so I'm a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, listen, there is a room for a firebrand. There is, she has taken some hard stances on things that I think were pretty noble. She has stood up for some of the J6 people who didn't commit violence, who might have just been near the building, in the building, but doing nothing. And I think that she was one of the few voices who stood up for them, and that's a good thing, and that's a courage.
Yeah,
what she's doing now is it doesn't feel good.
I don't think so. She's trying to pander. She wants to get elected to something else that looks like Senate. Career suicide is happening. It would appear with people like Candace Owens, but also Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson had this Nick Fuentes on. Here is Megyn Kelly confronting him last night. I want you to hear this.
I mean, I personally have watched videos of him questioning the Holocaust, likening it to baking cookies in the oven, and there's no way you could have gotten to 6 million, seems to be his theory. He seems to think that we've way overstated the number of Jews killed in the Holocaust. He's ripped on poor Usha Vance in the most offensive terms, which I mean, so what do you say to those people who say, why didn't you raise any of that?
Do your own interview the way that you want to do it. You're not my editor. Buzz off. I mean, I don't know. You want to go yell at Nick Fuentes? I'll give you his cell. Call him.
What do you think? I don't know. He said that people like me were Christian Zionists now.
I don't know what happened to Tucker Carlson. It's very, very sad to behold. If that's his answer for not listen, the more you dig into Nick Fuentes, the more of a monster he becomes.
Yeah.
I'm not even fully convinced he believes it himself. It almost seems like a shtick, an act.
Yeah.
But you have to take him at face value until he puts off the mask and says, hey, just kidding, everyone.
Well,
you have to think that his abysmal things are terrible as intended. Yeah. And if Tucker Carlson can't even press him on any of it, then what's the point?
Yeah, I saw a picture with Tucker Carlson armed wrapped around him, and I believe in all of the years that I watched Jerry Springer, I never saw him hug a Nazi. He had him on the show. I mean, honestly. Christian, I appreciate you being on the show today, man. Where can people find all of your work? Obviously, HollywoodInToto.com. You also have a podcast.
Yep, podcast just came out. It's hot out of the oven and piping hot fresh, and you can check that out at YouTube or on iTunes.
All right, thanks for being on the show today. Have a glorious weekend. Let's talk again soon. Let's take a break. This is The Rob Carson Show. Yeah, it's the Rob Carson Show. You know, it's kind of crazy. For the first time in a very long time, I used, I think, almost all the audio I was going to use today. I usually, I come in here with, and I do my own audio. I clip my own audio, and my own video for my TV show and whatnot. And I spend a lot of time doing it. Every night I go home and I watch. I have 3 different networks going simultaneously on YouTube TV, grabbing audio and whatnot. And because I do it because I love this, first of all, and you guys deserve it. You deserve the effort, and I want to do the most that I can, because we all have short shelf life, people. Particularly in career and broadcasting. We all have a short shelf life. So I'm here to take advantage of the history of this moment, the gloriousness of this moment. Caroline Leavitt was being asked about something I consider to be very, very important, which is free and fair elections. The Democrat Party has done everything it can to cheat. Okay. They have said that any attempt to ask for voter ID is racist, which, of course, is the infantilization of people of color. It is what Democrats have done forever, by the way. Keeping illegals out, that's another thing. They want to keep illegals in, give them up lots of benefits. And there's no doubt that they want illegals to vote. That's why they opened the southern border. That's why they have congregated in places like California. And they've gotten billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in government largesse. Same way in New York City. Why else would you pay $500 a night for a hotel room for an illegal alien who comes from living under a bridge in Nicaragua? Because you want to load them up with some largesse. They think it's the greatest thing in the world. People here, they bitch and complain because I only got $1,200 a month on my SNAP. In the third world, it's like you're living in friggin' Mar-a-Lago. And then, of course, they vote Democrat. And they do vote. Give me a friggin' break. 9 million of them got Social Security cards. And Donald Trump is doing everything he can to get the vote free and fair, because every illegal vote takes away yours. There you go.
Legal authority do you have to do that? The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal...
You see, this is why Democrats still parrot 80-20 issues. Because they know they can cheat their way into elections. They can overrun the media with their messaging. They can be funded by outside billionaires and whatnot. And then, of course, have a lot of people who shouldn't vote for them.
So mail-in voting system. It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
Rigged.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in the names of other people.
And if you were a freaking journalist, you would investigate it a little. But you never do. You just take Gavin Newsom's word for it. That's what you do. You take Gavin Newsom's word for it, and California never prosecutes voter fraud. So consequently, you say, oh, there's no voter fraud. You are dear God. Just a joke. Here is Elon Musk talking about this with Joe Rogan earlier this week. I thought I'd bring this back, actually. It's really good. Here it is. Stop. Okay, why are you doing this, computer? Stop it, computer. I'm going to close your window. I'm going to close a window just for doing that to me, you stupid computer. Well, I won't play that then. Fine. Whatever. I don't care. What else do I got here I wanted to play that will play? Oh. I want to play Ben Shapiro. Talking about Candace Owens. We were mentioning Megyn Kelly interviewing Tucker Carlson. Jury's still out for me on Tucker Carlson. I like Tucker Carlson, I like his commentary. I enjoyed the TV show. I have nothing in common with Tucker Carlson. He's an East Coast, elite. His family would never live near my family. I grew up on a farm with a trailer on the property. I would never be invited to one of his hunting parties. But I still like him, so I'm not sure where he is coming up with this idea that you need to call people like Mike Huckabee and me Christian Zionists because we support Israel. And in case you didn't notice, Zoran Mandami got elected. So the Jewish people are under attack in our country now. It's in our backyard. So I don't understand that. But this is Ben Shapiro talking to Megyn Kelly about another person who's starting to kind of spew anti-Semitic nonsense, and that's Candace Owens.
For example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is?
Yeah, because Candace is coming up with all sorts of conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Like I said, I don't take.
She also believes that Emmanuel Macron's wife has a penis. I don't understand. I guess. I don't know. There were some swords to die on. Like, for instance, when they started calling my speech disinformation and misinformation, I would have fought to the death to get my speech back. But Emmanuel Macron's wife having a penis, not so much. Or TPUSA being instrumental in the murder of Charlie Kirk, I think is utterly ridiculous, an insult to his memory. Sorry. Not going to go there. Why don't you look at the 2 attempted assassinations of Donald Trump? Why don't you focus on that? Because there's really other people involved in those. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. Hello, kids. I'm getting ready to wrap up this show. Getting up. I got to get a commercial ready. I apologize. Sometimes I have to work. What is it? I've got all of these papers in front of me. I'll get it. I'll wing it. Anyway, who are you watching over here? Have you enjoyed the show today? I've enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. Deplorable Dinosaur. Blockbuster 2K. Hello, Blockbuster 2K. Watching on the YouTube, Lou. And Joseph 18P12Z, whatever. Are you a robot? Is that why you guys do these names? Joseph T8P1Z. You're a robot. You're a robot, aren't you? That's your model number. I know why you guys use those complicated names. Because it's your model number. Like KAZHE63. You're a robot. You're a robot. Oh, my God. Well, you're cool robots because you watch my show. Russell Reeves. I think he's a human. Glad to have you on there, Russell. Let's see you watching over there on the Facebook. Gail King's watching. Dale Arsenault. Gail, you're not going to have a job much longer with CBS. Kim Potter. Sam Kim Potter. Hello. How's it going? How about my Rumbley-Roo? Dookie Bear. Dookie Bear said that somebody was shooting outside their house and your dog was freaking out. Wow, you live in the sticks. Yeah, not very often you get somebody who says, yeah, somebody's shooting out in my woods and my dog's freaking out. You guys are talking about groceries and SNAP benefits and all of that. My grocery bills, it's amazing when you don't have kids living in your house, adult children and a wife. I still manage to spend a lot of money on groceries. I don't know how, but I make a lot of food for people here at the office and stuff. Oh, here we go. About 3:45. Okay. It's a Rob Carson Show. I've been talking about gold for a while. Gold rose above $4,000 an ounce yesterday, by the way. Retreat of the dollar is doing that. Prolonged U.S. government shutdown raised worries over the economic outlook. Spot gold up 0.8% at $4,015 an ounce. So it stalled a little bit here. Supreme Court skepticism on tariffs and the slightest weaker dollar are supporting gold. While near-term prices are likely to continue consolidating, we expect further Federal Reserve rate cuts to lift gold to $4,200 a year, an ounce by the end of the year. It's going to be, well, I guess it is the end of the year. The end of the year is coming up. Well, it's still $200 more per ounce than it is right now, and maybe you ought to consider investing in gold. Right now, when you invest in gold from Birch Gold for every $20,000, they're going to send you free gold. They're going to send you free gold. How's that sound? And all you got to do is text my name, Rob, to 989898, Rob to 989898. And they will send you a lot of information on buying gold. It's very simple. If you got an IRA or 401k, basically you just give them the information, account number, whatnot, and then they get her done. They just get her done. So if you want to take advantage of free gold, just text my name, Rob, to 989898. That's 989898 for Birch Gold. I don't want to do that story. It's too much of a bummer. I've got a couple stories that I'd like to do here. Oh, this is kind of interesting. You know, we're talking about the global warming, climate change, ozone hole, murder hornets, acid rain thing. It was all bullcrap. Scientists have discovered a mysterious behavior among Americans' bison, which could signal profound ecological changes across the nation. A 6-year study using GPS collars, satellite imagery, and field experience found that these massive animals, they're buffalo, by the way, are retracing ancient migration routes, the same paths their ancestors followed before human settlement reshaped the land. Oh my God! Researchers said this return to prehistoric corridors has been possible because conservation efforts have restored migration-friendly landscapes and removed barriers, allowing bison to follow instincts and environmental cues that guide them along seasonal routes. Isn't that kind of interesting? So, you know, while everybody's being and complaining and saying, oh, my God, the global warming, climate change, and all this, we conservatives, we actually are conservationists. We love animals, especially when they're grilled or smoked. But anyway, there you go. So bison have shifted back to their traditional roots. They used to have a population way, way down there because they were shooting them off of trains and whatnot, and then, of course, the Indians were killing them. But, they wore their pelts and whatnot. But now they are back on their traditional route. They travel 1,000 miles each year along a 50-mile migration route. I don't know what it is. It's maybe 50 miles wide. Thought that was kind of interesting. That is going to do it for the show. Hey, check out my TV show. It's Rob Carson's What in the World. I need you to do that, okay? Set your DVR. Go to newsmaxtv.com for where you can watch it. There's a host 349 on your DirecTV on most cable operators around the country. It's Sunday night at 8:30 following the Michael Savage show. Rob Carson's What in the World? God bless you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching and listening. God bless America has founded Donald Trump as he keeps us from becoming the Soviet Union. And until Monday, don't catch the stupid. I love you guys. See ya.
All right, Robbie, have a good weekend.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.